If you are a DevOps engineer or HomeLab enthusiast, you definitely felt the panic in December 2025. Now the good news, they have backtracked. As of 2026, the fee is officially postponed indefinitely as of community /. So basically we are now thinking that we are safe, right? Wrong. The trust is now broken forever. GitHub has shown us their roadmap. They want to monetize the control panel and the control plane, even if it's free currently, right now. I'm not waiting for another email or public notification that they are starting to change something and therefore putting the price on my self-hosted GitHub Actions runners and therefore compromising my projects which are hosted on VPSs or my home laboratory. Now you have a question, why a VPS? The answer is pretty simple, because recent benchmarks shown for CI/CD tasks like npm install, npm run, or just compiling the code, a raw single core with NVMe drive speed matters more than core count. A dedicated VPS smokes the publicly hosted shared CI/CD runners. I'm using Zone.eu hosting. Zone.eu have provided me with free server. The link is in description with our referral to help our projects grow, to get better friendships and to get more new tutorials out to you so that you can learn. Another thing about Zone.eu, it is an Estonian hosting company. VPS setup is pretty fast. You just order it, make your payment, and in a few seconds your VPS is spinned up ready. They have real human technical support. Plus side on it, they don't have limitations on bandwidth or anything like that. That's another extra. If you have a lot of repositories or something like that, you will not get any alerts that you have overused some bandwidth or something. And their network speed is 1 gigabit per second, full duplex, European and USA wide. So it's pretty neat and great deal. They have really great prices. They keep their servers secure and up to date. So I recommend you to check them out. The link is in the description. But once we are in, let's do sudo su to become a root user. After we are logged in, we can now install packages and repositories so that we can install GitLab runner. All these commands will be in my Medium page, also in dev.to, so be sure to follow, like this video, and to follow me here and on Medium as well. So let's install the dependencies. Let's install GitHub runner. Yes, I approve. The installation is finished, around 2.5 minutes. So now we can go back to our GitLab. In the GitLab, let's click on the home groups. The runners can be individually installed per project. So if you're working on some projects that are hosted on the client side, you can install the runners that only works the project on their server. But you can also install it on groups. As I have created Google private projects where I usually use my runners, then I'll clicking on the group, clicking build runners, create a group runner. Credentials will be blurred out. Tags, I will have EU2, as I will call that server Europe 2, and Linux, also Docker. That's that, because the runner will be based in the Docker containers as mentioned at the beginning of the video. Runner description for personal project use. Here I will extend to 6000. Maybe it's good, maybe not good. I'm having Linux, macOS. So let's now have to register our runner. Copy this command, go back and execute it. As you can see, it now asks us for enter the instance. Here is the difference. If you run runner on your self-hosted GitLab, then you enter your self-hosted GitLab URL. But since we are using the GitLab, their main, so then we will enter gitlab.com as I'm using their main. Here will be our runner name. We can choose what we want. I will add Europe 2. Here we need Docker. I will have Docker based. Here we will specify the default Docker image. I will use Docker stable one, and our runner is now configured. Next we will do a simply install the Docker by executing the following command. Once the Docker is installed, let's start it and also enable it. Okay, that's done. Let's check under which user GitLab runner is running. For the GitLab runner to execute the Docker containers, build them, etc., we need to add the GitLab runner to the Docker group. So we do that, and now we have our GitLab working on a Docker has all the permissions to execute Docker container. If we now go back to the GitLab and click runners again in the same group, we see one runner which is online, working. We can now build a simple project. Once we have finished setting up our Zone.eu server and we have installed our GitLab runner, we can now go and create our tokens for the Python script so that it works, because, well, the ideal logic is that it will take from the GitHub and synchronize all the projects to GitLab. Also, we can leave it in a background in a cron, so that in case something in the future we're invited to collaborate on some project, it automatically synchronizes to the GitLab and we have a full redundancy, as redundancy nowadays is a very important thing, so that we have everything redundant, as we don't know what will happen with GitHub, what they decide, for what maybe they will start charging for each branch or repository or project. So better to be safe than sorry and to protect yourself. So firstly, let's go to our picture or logo, depending what you have. Let's go to the settings. Let's scroll down on the left side and we see developer settings. Click on it. It now opens. Let's go to personal tokens classic, and let's generate a new token completely. Let's take the classic one. Let's enter let's type Python since. Here we can select how long we want the expiration date. Depending on your needs, I'm selecting no expiration so that it works full time, is available. Now we need to click all the repos. These are the permissions that we are granting for it. We need workflows. Also, we need it to read the packages. After reading the packages, read organizations, read repo hooks, admin and public keys we don't need. Now we need glists, notifications, so that it synchronizes everything. Let's click read discussions. Maybe I'm giving too much of the permissions, but if I want completely to be synchronized and have it ready in case something, and if I'm not mistaken, that was it. Let's generate the token. Here is your token. Copy it, save it in a safe, secure way. I have blurred my out because YouTube doesn't like when you show some credentials or something. Although this will be completely erased and reset from the zero after this video, as I'm not giving out publicly something so crucial and critical. Once we have done that, we can go to the GitLab and now do the same, get the tokens in GitLab. If you don't have GitLab account, it's easy, fastly creatable. You can log in with the Gmail, with everything. So do it now, and once you have done that, let's go and create the tokens as well. When you have created your GitLab account and or logged in, then we need to create our key. Let's go to our picture. If you don't have a picture in the right upper corner, then you will have some symbol. Click on preferences, personal access tokens. Click on add new token. Let's name it Python. Description is optional. If you like to keep your infrastructure clean, secure, safe, then you can write. Also, let's change the date longest. Another difference between GitLab and GitHub. GitLab allows you to have your token for 1 year. After that expiry, you just need to click renew the token, and automatically extends the period for 1 year. GitHub, on the other hand, it, as you saw previously, allows unlimited time period. Therefore, if, for example, you sold your laptop or you have forgotten to remove the token from some system or something, in the GitLab scenario, you are a bit safe. In GitHub, you're not safe. So, okay, without that, firstly, we need to read repositories, read virtual registries, read APIs, read registry as well was the permissions, write repositories, write virtual registries, APIs, write registry. We don't need AI features and stuff like that. Read users, and let's generate our token. Copy your token and save it in a secure location. Do not forget, because you cannot see the token again if you lose it. Let's create a test project and execute our newly created GitLab runner agent to see if it works and there are no issues on it. So let's go create a project, create a new blank project. This will be my test project. It will be private, initial readme. So let's create it. Let's now create a file, new file. Let's type the file name .gitlab.ci.jml. Now let's paste in our execution code. Stage is test stage. This is our test. Docker git image will be used. This is our runner tag, and here will be information that it will fetch. Let's commit the code, and after the code is committed, it should automatically start building. Let's check our pipeline. Now you can see the speed of NVMe storage on Zone.eu, as the AO operation are instant and seamlessly, and as you can see, it's now fast. Let's check it out. Here we can see the information from our hello from Europe 2 server, EU2. This job is run, and this is our information of our Docker image. It is running Alpina Linux inside. So our newly created infrastructure, the GitLab runner, is working. The job is successful. So we can move to the next step, installing the dependencies for Python and doing the migration. To do the next step, we need to go back to our terminal. I will create a separate user, add user, Python, under which I will be running the script. Python. Now we are in the home. Let's go home Python, nano git.sh. The script comes with two parts. First is sh that will execute, also collect logs, and the second one is the Python itself. The script is also on my Medium page. You will find the link below in the description. Plus side, it automatically creates a log, so it's traceable what has happened, if something has gone wrong, etc. As I am also using NTFI, notify, to receive the messages if something goes wrong. The NTFI link you can find up here, how to set it up, but the script automatically cleans after itself, so you will not have any mess on the server. Now let's create a git.Python. Now for the Python itself, I apologize already if you see somewhere something written in Latvian, because when I was writing the script I added some comments. I removed as much as I could, but for maybe some comments could be still in. First let's add GitHub token. My tokens are blurred out as I mentioned before, and then we add the GitLab token. If we go down, I have an organization created in the GitHub, so change your organization. Here is Valters. Go Valters, change it to your organization if you have it. If no, then skip this step. Once we have added the tokens, we need to save it. So we have saved. Chmod plus x, let's add the permission so that we can execute it. We now need to install the Python because I forgot to install the Python. Install Python. So the Python 3 is already installed by default on Zone.eu. Let's check 3. We don't have, so apt install python 3.pip. Yes. Plus we need to install an venv and Python 3 pip. So after we have done that, let's go back to our user, cd home Python. Now let's create our environment. After environment is created, we need to install the module. Let's install it. So now we have installed it. Let's access our environment. And now we can run our git.sh. And miracles should start happening. So now you should see our newly miracles projects. Look at that. Our projects are now synchronizing from GitHub to GitLab. Let's do a refresh, double check, and our project count is growing. If we open, for example, this project, we can see inside our Ansible folder, our workflows, that's the old ones, and Vim. So basically now I need to recreate my workflows so that it doesn't use the GitHub agent. Since we are in GitLab, we need to do it for the GitLab. For each project, it has a custom-made scenario, so I will need to spend some time to recreate them. That will not be a long time, as the functionality and the principles are basically the same. Only some code parts are changing, so it will be easy, and you can find online converters where you can convert your GitHub to GitLab for free, so no biggie at that as well. So if we go to the projects again, we see the project count is still continuing to grow. If we look back in our terminal, we can see that still the script is running, so everything is working properly. It's pretty easy, pretty fun. Don't forget to check out Zone.eu, as you'll see their server is working perfectly without any issues, without any problems, without any lags.